What is going on, guys? This is Kavion. It is March 19th, 2026, and this is Almost Famous. It has been a long time coming. First off, they say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time to plant a tree is now. I want to start off with, I guess, some of my accolades, so people who tune into the channel kind of know where I came from, how I got started. So I'm originally from Ranchburg, New Jersey. I started making music when I was in high school. I guess I wouldn't say making music. I did team warm-ups and mashups and bootlegs, and that eventually progressed to where I am now. I consider myself a 100%. What that means is I can make music from absolutely nothing with no one else in the room, no other skills, creation, songwriting, inception, mixing, mastering, all of it. And some of my accolades along the way include my biggest one that I would say, hey, like, if this isn't, enough, I check on the box of why you should listen to me. I don't know what is. I had a collaboration with Skrillex in my DMs, almost went through and just was never released. I would say to me, that's the thing that I'm like most proud of as a pure musician. And then I also have released on big EDM labels like Dibmac, Armada. I have friends who I've made music with playing at Lollapalooza, signed remixes and tracks to Universal. And I've primarily been focused on my own artist project, less producing for other people. I have a unique perspective that I want to share and at least document, because so many people I see online who start documenting are already playing festivals. They're already, 300K fans, and then they start doing vlogs, and like, it's all cool, and then they tell you what to do. But my perspective is going to be from someone who's in the thick of it, just won't stop. I have a lot of experience that people would probably die to have, and I always made excuses of like, oh, but that's not enough. When you have the 300,000 fans, then you can do that. If I help one person, this series was worth it. So what I will always say is, if you have a question, a comment, or whatever, always put it. I'll always answer questions, especially early on. The people who will get the most value are those who are here early. So I think if you're the first person in here, it's a free ask away, ask any questions. And as it grows, obviously my time diminishes. That's why I thought doing this was such a good idea, because I said, wait, people who tune in early are going to get the absolute most out of this. They're the ones who are going to be able to get all their questions answered, heck, they can come back weekly and I'll walk them through what they should do next. And I think that's super important. And then as this grows, I want to do it in real time. The other thing with these is so many of these perspectives that people give are from people who I would consider naturals, and I'm not a natural. I clawed my way at this. I can't play any instruments other than simple things to like input. Like, I couldn't play an instrument live. I could play it into the DAW, but I couldn't play an instrument live. So you never want to take advice from people who are naturals who just like get it. Everyone has that buddy who's like, so good. Every girl wants to hang out with them, and you ask him, like, hey, how do you do that? And he's like, I don't know. I just talk to him, right? You never want to take advice from that person because they don't have a step-by-step process. They haven't had trials and tribulations. And the only thing I will say is I have lost so many times and failed so many times that I can just take that and try to get better. From here, want to document the ride up. I am not a full-time musician, and all the people who try to portray that online, I think they're kind of kidding themselves, because they're either working for other people on their music, which at times doesn't even help them develop their sound, or they're working a 9-to-5. So I've done it both ways, where I've done music full-time, clawing at every scrap and penny and every $100 mix I could get my hands on. And then I've also worked 9-to-5s in Fortune 500, and I currently work a 9-to-5. My perspective is not someone who has a silver spoon in their mouth and has, a $500,000 trust fund sitting there to fund their music project. I'm doing this basically where most people are at. And I hope this helps, and I hope you get something out of this, and I hope I get something out of this.